Hey everyone, this is Gina. Welcome back to Ginatopia. Today we are going to do on Foundation Friday. We are going to look at the CoverGirl Advanced Radiance makeup. Now, I've had this makeup and I have been testing it for well over 2 weeks. As you can see, the package is already open. I just wanted you to see what it looked like when you go to pick it up if you happen to buy this foundation at your local big box store or your drugstore. Here's what the container looks like. It comes in a plastic bottle with a plastic lid and a pump, so it really is easy, convenient usage. But let me tell you just a little bit about this foundation. It's anti-aging. It gives a natural look. It fights the signs of aging, and it's good for sensitive skin. Now, it comes in 11 shades, but there are no shades for deep skin tones, which I thought was a little upsetting if I had a really deep skin tone and I was wanting to try this makeup. That there is nothing available for you. It costs less than $10, and it says that it contains Olay amino peptides complex. It blends nicely into the skin. It gives a good coverage that fills in fine lines and wrinkles, and it leaves a beautiful, radiant, youthful appearance. Now, what I found out with this foundation is I love the color that I tried. I tried color number 130, and I think this is absolutely beautiful color. I got a lot of comments on my skin with this foundation. It does leave a flawless look. One thing I found out is this is not a really good foundation to wear if it's really humid, because it leaves your skin feeling sticky, and you do have to use a setting powder with this foundation. The first week I used it, I didn't use a setting powder because I really don't like to use powders on my skin, and it really grabbed my blush. I kind of look like Bozo the Clown because it just grabbed my blush so intensely. So you really need to use a setting powder before you go in with a blush or any type of bronzing powder or any type of contour, because it will really grab it and hold on, because it has a lot of stickiness to it. So now I've had this foundation on for well over 13 hours. As you can see, I have some wearing around my nose and around my chin and around my mouth area. Now I'm going to wear about like this about with any foundation that I use, because from handling my chin or eating and just wiping my nose and mouth, so this really does have a good stay factor. But I did use it with the NYX Pore Filler Foundation, which the more I use this foundation, or the primer, the more I use this primer, the more I'm finding that I really do like it. So this is a primer that I used with this foundation. So together I found these were a good combination. Now, like I said, you really do have to use a setting powder with this foundation, especially in humid weather. So now that you've seen what my skin looks like after 13 hours of this foundation, I'm going to take it off and reapply. So let me get a cleansing wipe so that you can see it coming off my skin. Let's get a cleansing wipe here and show you all of the scary stuff underneath my makeup, the real me. Now, I did find, and I'm really not sure I can blame it on this foundation or not, because I've had a lot of stress going on in my life with my mother being, she had the accident and has been in a hospital and stuff. So I did have a breakout during this period on my chin and on the side of my nose, so I'm not really sure if this was the foundation that caused this, but I did have a breakout during the try of this foundation. So I can't blame it on the foundation, but I'm just saying. Okay, make sure all the foundation's off good so I can scare you really good. Now you can see the real me. Okay, I use with this the NYX Pore Filler Primer. The more I use this primer, the more I'm really liking this. It has a grainy, not really a grainy type of texture, but let me see if I can show you this in the camera. There's what it looks like in the camera. It's kind of a peachy color, and it's very, very thick, and I use it just basically on my nose, in my T-zone, around my mouth, and on my chin. Okay. Now that's the only place I really use a primer. Now this foundation goes a really long way, so I found out I only needed 1 squirt of this foundation. This is 1 squirt. You get a lot of foundation with this. Okay, and then I just wipe it on my face. Now this color 130 is absolutely the prettiest color I have ever used in a foundation. I wish I could get this color in every foundation that I use because I absolutely love this color. I think it's an absolutely stunning color. Now I tried this blending it with my fingers and it did fine. I used a brush like, find the brush over here like I used. One of those makeup brushes right here. I used this makeup brush. It did fine, but my preferred method with this foundation is with a beauty type blender sponge. So now I'm just going to blend this on. Now I'm doing this without any concealer around my eyes, just so you can see what type of coverage I'm getting. And I'll just add just a little bit more around my eyes. And I do have eyeshadow underneath my eyes, so that's what that is. As you can see, this blends in beautifully. I'm not sure if you can see because of the lighting. I just can't seem to get my lighting right in this room. But this foundation does leave a beautiful finish on your face, and I absolutely adore this color. So, as you can see, the skin looks flawless with this foundation. And it's a perfect match for my skin. And I love the way my skin looks. Now, my skin does feel just a little bit sticky. Not as bad as when it's very humid. When it's very humid, for some reason, this makeup is extra sticky feeling over a lot of other makeups. Not sure what the cause of that is, but no matter what, you really need a setting powder with this makeup to make it really not grab your blush or your contouring or anything. So let me grab a powder brush over here and just go in with a big fluffy brush and give it just a very, very, very light dusting of powder. And I mean a very light dusting because I am not one who really goes in for much powder. Because I think when you age, it sets into your fine lines and wrinkles. So, and I'm using my Sonia Keshik powder for that. But you can see it does leave a flawless finish. That's what sets it. That's what keeps it from being sticky. Now, would I repurchase this makeup? I love the color. I love the way it looks on my skin. Is it one of my favorite makeups? No. I do like the way it looks. And I do like what I get after I get through putting the powder and stuff on it. How do I rate it? I probably rate it about a 7. Only because it stays so sticky and I have to use a setting powder with it. I'm not big on setting powders. That is the only reason I don't give it a higher rating. I love the fact that it has Olay in it. Let me just toss on a dab of blush here. Now that it is set, what I should have done is left powder off of one side so you can see how it grabbed the blush. I'm not going to contour anything. I just want to do a simple face so that you can see just the simpleness of this makeup. But after you use the setting powder, it feels good. It has a long wear. So that's the reason I'm giving it only a 7. So it has a lot of great benefits with the oil of Olay, or the Olay in it, the anti-aging properties in it. That's just my opinion. You're welcome to try it. It's not my favorite, but it's not the worst I've ever tried. So I give it a 7. It's the CoverGirl Advanced Radiance. And that's my foundation Friday. Until the next time, be sure to share the love. Don't join in the hate. Remember, tell someone that you love them, that you do love them. And until the next time, I love you.